And hello, everybody. I'm Ahab. Thanks for coming back, or thanks for joining me. Got an episode of Warframe here for you. And it's been about, I don't know, maybe 10 days, 11 days since I started playing Warframe. And I've gotten more into it. I've had a buddy who's seriously into Warframe uh, go into depth with me and explain a whole bunch of things here. And I feel I have a much better grasp at just how big this game can be. Um, for those who haven't played Warframe or may have played Warframe and gave it up a long time ago, I'd strongly recommend taking a look at it again. It's free to play, not necessarily pay to win, but there are microtransactions awash throughout the game. Not necessarily a bad thing, but not the best thing either. Um, so there aren't necessarily classes in this game. Like, you don't have a mage and you don't have a warlock per se, but each Warframe plays differently. And I don't know how many Warframes are in the game right now, but there's a good bit of I mean, there's 15, 16, 20, somewhere in there. There's a lot of Warframes, and the one you're looking at here on the screen is Rhino. He's my second, or it's my second Warframe, after Excalibur, which that was the Warframe I chose to start with. And Rhino's pretty beefy. He's a tank, looks like it too. And there's just so much to this game with each individual Warframe, each weapon, melee weapon, secondary weapon, the skills, and how you build. And then, so each item in the game can be modded. For example, let's look at my shotgun called the Boar here. Go into upgrade, and you loot these mods throughout the game, and some are hard to find, some I think you have to buy. But they're all loot as far as I'm aware of, or rewards for quests and other missions and stuff like that. And you have capacity points on everything. So when you have a rank of 30, you have 30 capacity points. But oh wait, there's something you can do to expand that. You can install something called an Oricon thing. I forget exactly which type it is because there's two types. But reactor and something else, catalyst, there it is. And that can expand your capacity points to 60, which I've done to this shotgun because I plan on using it for a while. So what mods do is they increase your damage, they decrease your reload time. This shotgun is a status weapon, so I've just beefed up the status. It's an impact weapon, so the damage is high there. And then I've added corrosive damage to it, and you can see it's a lot of corrosive damage. So the way the mods work is they have these costs in the right side of the mod. So this one costs 9 now. This one down here, the tactical pump, costs 5. If you look down on the list, I've got 4, 6, 4. So those all add up, and obviously you want more capacity, so you can either put in more mods, or you can power up the mods, which just takes things to a whole nother level. Like, for example, point blank is just a pure damage increase for the shotgun. You see how it's limited to the shotgun there on the bottom. I've upgraded this 5 times, and I have a plus 90% damage buff to my weapon, permanent, because that mod is in there. You can see it's worth 9 capacity points here, right? Well, there's other things you can do, which, like Hell's Chamber's taking up a lot of points, right? 15 points. You can polarize those spaces with the different, I'm not sure what to call these, but so there's 3 or 4, or maybe even more I haven't seen because I'm not that far in the game, but there's a bunch of different polarities for each of these spaces, which helps you reduce what the mod is using, which is just incredible. So if I polarize this spot here to match the marking, in this case it's a Madurai polar. I guess I don't know if I'm saying that right, so take it with a grain of salt. If I polarize this space that the mod is in here, or any other space for that matter, where this mod is, and it matches that marking there, it cuts it in half, which is pretty freaking cool. So then all of a sudden I have more capacity to use more mods. Let me see if I have an example of that on something else. Let's look at my Rhino here. Yeah, so Ironclad Charge is 9 where I have it. I've upgraded it 3 times. It's upgraded to 9. And because that spot has the same polar charge, I guess is what it's called, the Zenuric charge, and yes, there's more charges you can see here with the Rhino, with the Warframe itself. But you can see, so steel fiber would be worth 12. Vitality up here would be worth 2, I guess. Ironclad, I know for a fact is 9 because it's the same as iron shrapnel, but I only got 5. But still, that's 4 more I can put in capacity and I can use on another mod. That's really, really cool. I like that a lot. And you not only does your character differ based upon the Warframe in terms of what your abilities are, but the abilities and actually the way your Warframe responds in game are heavily based on the mods that you have in here, which is just great. I mean, just amazing. So, like for example, Rhino has this charge. It has this iron skin. He has a roar that grants all your allies increased damage around, and a stomp, which I actually haven't done. At least I haven't knowingly done it, so I can't really speak to that. But so, for example, I have this mod here that with the charge, every enemy I run through to get to my target increases my armor by 50% for 10 seconds. So if I run through 4 enemies, that's a 200% increase of armor for 10 seconds. That's pretty cool. Iron shrapnel takes my iron skin, which is neat. It basically makes this Warframe uber. See how much armor it adds, 2102. And that ticks off before anything else ticks off, which is just great. If I release the iron skin early, it does 100% of its remaining health as puncture damage and knocking down enemies. That comes in handy when I'm surrounded by, enemies or just in a dire situation. But so yeah, after my friend explained things to me, I've gone crazy upgrading mods and weapons and stuff like that. So, like for example, I've got this Warhammer that, I mean, obviously I'm new to the game, but this is pretty freaking beastie. 1200 damage and 600 damage for various attacks, and I'm working up to give it more corrosive damage. You can see I've already given it 120% melee buff here. I mean, this game is just so much fun, and it's just expanded so much after my friend explained everything to me with regards to mods and how the game goes. And so here's the one downside that I learned the hard way. Even though my friend explained it to me, it didn't really quite stick, and that's okay. But so, nope, that wasn't it. It was here. So this space wasn't polarized for the Zenuric charge, and you can, as I showed, oop, no, that's the wrong thing. That's mods. As I showed a second ago, you can take a bit that you get in a raid style or in a mission, and something that you build, and polarize it. But what happens is when you polarize one of these spaces, so right now my Rhino is rank 30, and that's the highest you can get for the Warframe, and I think that's the highest you can get in any item is maxed out at 30. Well, when you charge one of these spaces, it completely drops the rank to 0, which means you lose all capacity. Or at least, because I haven't bumped to 60, I start with, I think it's 10 capacity, not 5. So you got to build the Rhino back up. Now, it's pretty easy to get things back up if you have a couple of buddies to help you, but yeah, it took me by surprise. Thankfully, my buddy and another buddy, we were very quickly able to get this back up to rank 30, and I'm back having fun. So what is next with regards to what I'm doing? You can see I got pretty vicious looking dog thing here. I forget what this is called, but yeah, now he just kind of roams around my ship. I know people do like to use that animal as a buddy. I prefer to use this guy right here. This Sentinel, I think they're called, is fantastic. He goes around and he vacuums up loot for me. He scans things for me. It's pretty crazy just what this game has. And that reminds me, I got to put in some more scanners because that thing is... See, let's buy 4. All right. So anyway, it uses scanners to get codex entries, and I still don't quite understand everything about this game, and I don't expect to. There's so much to this game, and I'm really not a theory craft person. If you guys haven't noticed, between my videos for Warframe, my video for Warframe, this one, the beginning one, and then my videos for City Skylines, I'm just not a theory crafter. I do figure some things out more quickly than other folks, but there are some people who play games that just take stuff to another level. Like, I've got a couple videos that I'm working on editing that will be coming out in a little while for Dota Underlords. And there's some great people for Underlords that just have things figured out very quickly and recommend builds based upon changes. Yeah, I'm just not a theory crafter. Sometimes I wish I was, but my mind is spent doing other things. I play video games for fun. Okay, so really, at this point in the game, I haven't even worked through half the map. You know, you can see everything here. I've worked through Mercury, back through portions of Earth, and now I'm on Mars. But what I'm actually doing is I'm going back and completing the missions on the planets that I skipped just to get to other planets for various reasons. Let me see, I don't think I can do... Yeah, that's still a little bit above me. So I'm on Mars doing things here, just working my way through Mars, and I'm still a little... I'm overpowered, but being overpowered is very, very fun. Yeah, so I'm gonna go grab a drink quick, and I'll be right back, and we will do a session here just showing you what overpowered means, at least with regards to the way I've set up my Rhino Warframe. So I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. Had to take a little break. Got a phone call interruption. You know, real life happens sometimes. Okay, so when I'm not playing, or actually, even when I'm playing with my buddies, we tend to leave the session public, because that's one of the interesting features of this game, is when you go into a mission, if you have it set to public, you get joined by other people if other people are doing the same mission. And that's pretty cool. I like that. It doesn't force you to do that. You can see you can set it to friends, invite only, or solo. But public's neat because you just start playing with other people, and sometimes you meet somebody nice. Not that I've met anybody mean, but you know, I've got a couple of friend requests that I've accepted in game with people I've met, and I've played a couple of other missions with them. So, interesting way to be social. Okay, so what are we going to do here? I'm just going to do another mission here on Mars, just to get things going here. Let's see, what do we got? We got a spy and a sabotage. Let's do sabotage. Might get joined by somebody else here. But 9 to 11, I'm still pretty... Yep, there we go. Cabto 123. Alright, so...
Your target is the system mainframe. Deliver the payload.
Woo! So, sorry, sometimes I get lost in these missions. These maps get pretty big.
Your target is this location's computer system. Find and access the terminals.
And sometimes I just stop talking because I'm not very good at doing many things at once, especially in a game I'm not totally used to yet.
Destroy the reactor. The reactor will have tight security.
Alright.
Watch out for enemy patrols.
Reach the reactor. Okay. Just do a little bit of security, turn off any alarms that are going on there. Let's go back and help this guy because it looks like he's stuck. He's just as new as I am. I just don't think he has somebody to help him, you know, figure the game out like I do. There we go. And that's one of my favorite things to do with this character, is just send people flying. So, he could have done this mission by himself, but I'm just making it a little easier for him. Do. Normally I go faster through these missions. I don't pick up everything. Just because really the loot and everything you get later on is so much better. And by later on, I mean the missions that my buddy runs us through.
Target found. Destroy it. Target destroyed. Proceed to the extraction point.
Pretty simple mission. This guy is, he's okay. I mean, not that his abilities aren't good, but I think he's a little low. Granted, I am super over-leveled for this. Go, make sure he's not taking too much damage. Alright. And that was just a quick mission. Helios got a good bit of XP on that one, even though it's a low-level mission for me. Oh, I didn't even activate my, skin. Some okay loot from that. So what you'll tend to see is, in Warframe, is if you do end up in a group, lots of people end up leaving. Just because it's not intentional that there's a group made, but, you know, sometimes you want to go off and do something, and it's very easy to get dragged into other things that you don't necessarily want to do. So, let's see what's going on. Capture... excavation. That's not a bad one to do. This one actually will be fun to do. If we get teamed up with somebody else, that's great. No problem. This is also a higher level. It's at 9 to 14, so might not be as uber here. But my weapons just do some really good damage at the level I'm at. Very happy with it.
We're here in search of lost
Big whiffer.
artifacts and items buried deep below the surface. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
I'm just going to run ahead here to the dig site. I really love this method of transportation. Oops. Oh, it's right here. Alright.
Excavator is ready to go.
So what we have to do with this, oh, I recognize this, I've done this before, is obviously defend it, but you also have to get power cores to this thing. You can see in the left-hand corner of the screen there, I've got 4% power, 3%, 2%. It's about to get a warning here.
The excavator has run out of power. Find a cell.
There's one. Alright, and then you gotta pick it up. And give it power. Doo-doo. Looks like I'm still overpowered for this one too. Which I don't mind. It's really fun to be, you know, hilariously overpowered. Let's see, we're at 19% power and we got 30-something seconds. Here's power. Oh, more power back here. Excellent. Alright, it's full and at 10 seconds, so... on these lower level missions, you can actually leave this at 10 seconds and go to another spot.
Excavation complete. Look what we found. Extraction is available, if you choose. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site. Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact.
Could barely see him. Oh, and part of the fun of being overpowered is sending these guys just flying. Alright, I'm gonna kick off my Rhino skin here. They don't always die, but it's still hilarious.
Dig complete. Your hard work has just been rewarded.
Sometimes you just gotta let these guys catch up and follow you, I've learned. And it seems that the longer you go with these dig things, the more rewards you get.
Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact.
Ooh, cash thing.
An artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site.
Uh-oh.
The excavator has lost power. Find another cell.
Gonna get overworked here because we got 2 going now, so pardon me if I don't talk too much. There we go. Go help this guy a little bit. He seems to have all the enemies up there. That's lucky. Oh, shut up with your machine gun thing.
Look what we just uncovered.
Oh, what are you doing up there? These defense missions are great to level things up. Still have it? Yes, I can use my melee weapon. So much better. All right.
Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
Don't mind if I do. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't know why, but I've always enjoyed sending video game corpses just flying. Alright, it's time for some covering fire. Ooh, no more shield on that.
that we found.
I can do that too! Maybe not all the time. It requires a perfect camera angle here.
Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protect it from enemy fire. An artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site.
Try telling him I'm leaving. Oops. See, the one thing about this is sometimes you gotta find your way. You can see up in the mini-map, I'm at an exit area. Sometimes these maps aren't so great at showing you where the exit is.
The excavator has lost power. Find another cell.
I need to go to this one. Yep.
Excavator destroyed. Protect the remaining dig sites.
Trying to be nice here. See if there's anything I can do. Comes. I don't know if he is coming. Ooh, somebody I can kill. I'm not sure why things scan, like... You don't need to scan things all the time. Helios. It gets a little annoying, my friend. Alright, I think he's coming. I think he's coming. At least I hope he's coming. Do an emote here. There we go. Alright, success. Heavy trauma. Alright, got some endo. Endo, you need endo to upgrade the mods. And I don't hate all this other stuff that I got. Alright, incendiary coat. That's new. Eat. Shotgun. Alright, gonna leave squad here. And, I'm sorry I didn't talk much during that. Like I said, sometimes I have trouble concentrating on multiple things at once when I'm playing a game like this. It's just part of a personality problem that I have, I guess. Maybe not problem, but you get what I'm saying. But you can see how fun this game can be, and I particularly like smashing the ground a lot and causing enemies to go everywhere. Now, nobody's yelled at me for that yet, but it's really fun when there's a lot of enemies and, you know, there's a glitch, and when you smash the ground, the enemy goes flying a la Skyrim giant hammer hitting a bear. If you've never seen that, YouTube it. It's hilarious. There are some weapons that cause enemy bodies to get stuck to walls.
Did you hear that? It said... Cosmic background radiation is a riot!
Thank you, Ordis. I appreciate that. But that's all I have for you today. I'm going to come back with more Warframe and go a little bit more in depth at the build that I'm doing for Rhino. It's kind of a mix between what my buddy recommended and what some of the forums recommended. That'll be in a follow-up video. Hopefully I've made some more progress on getting that build done next time. Thanks everyone for joining me. Please leave any comments below, or if you have any recommended YouTubers you want me to check out, go ahead and leave them as a comment as well. Thanks again. Take care now. Bye-bye.